What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. To start us off today, we're jumping back into the Ultimate Universe. With issue number 2 of Spider-Man Incursion, what we're really running into is Wakanda. When Baby Billy accidentally opened up the portal, the little wormhole, to the Maker's universe, both Billy and Miles were sucked in, but they were dropped into different places. And so while Miles has been searching for weeks, Baby Billy has been rather safe, because Baby Billy has been with royalty. From Storm to Killmonger to T'Challa, this baby just randomly showed up one day. And now everybody, they've been working to figure out what the heck this means. Because this baby does have the Maker's signature all over it. The residual energy matches exactly to those of the Maker. And so of course the first thought, is this baby a weapon? You know, the Maker has done some really cruel tactics, but would he go as far as using a kid? But from what they can tell, this isn't a weapon. It appears more like she serves some kind of purpose. The teleporting energy, that's the first piece of the puzzle. But this is not a weapon, it's rather an invitation. Maybe a key that unlocks something. And in these troubling times, the idea of a key unlocking something with the Maker's signature all over it, it's a terrifying prospect. But there's always the possibility that this is the key to new beginnings. Taking us over to Janet, Hank, and Miles. They are currently in a Jeep headed to Wakanda. After weeks of searching, they finally found Billy. But right now, everyone's a little terrified of what this represents. Even Doom and Iron Lad. They think that she might be able to release the Maker early from his little cocoon, which means his sister could be the key to unlocking the end of the world. Throughout most of this comic, we also get some narration from Hank. And what it really seems like is Hank is breaking. This is all seeming to be too much for him. Over the last couple of weeks, ever since they found Miles in Brooklyn, they've been his handlers. They told him to lay low, but we all know that Miles isn't just gonna sit in his room and watch TV. Especially when this universe doesn't even have Crunchyroll. Can't even watch myself some Solo Leveling or Kaiju number 8. Obviously, I'm gonna go out and do what I do best. As they make their way through a checkpoint, this is when they are attacked. At the gates outside of Wakanda, the Dora Milaje is here. They stand guard, and they tell Wasp, Giant Man, Jersey Spider-Man is what they're calling Miles. Their records are indicating that they are terrorists, now approaching the sovereign Wakandan territory. They tell him to cease and submit. When Janet and them try to tell them that we gotta see the king, we have to see T'Challa immediately. They take this as a threat on the king. And so as they engage, they do recognize that Miles' suit is vibranium. With this conflict going on outside the gates, T'Challa hears this news. He gets word of the battle, and while the guards would rather put him somewhere safe, thinking that there's a threat on his life, that the terrorists have come for the king, T'Challa is gonna go and meet them head on, because he is no child, no coward or kitten. He is a king, servant and protector of the people, the Black Panther of Wakanda. As they head out, they leave the baby with a caretaker, little Billy being taken care of. Storm, Killmonger, and T'Challa, they head to the gates. And by the time that they get there, we see that the three, they've been holding their own, with Miles about ready to scale over the wall. That's when the lightning cracks down. We have the arrival of Storm, and Black Panther tells them that your attack on the sovereign kingdom of Wakanda has been interpreted as an act of war. So you guys need to stand down, or you're gonna face the full military might of the most advanced nation on Earth. And that's where Miles, he straight up calls a timeout. He says, hold on, let's take a break, let's have a chat. And so while they talk in the palace, we see the caretaker, the one that had Baby Billy, was a spy, was an infiltrator, working for Director Fury, now having Baby Billy, what they refer to as the key to the city. By the time that T'Challa and Miles get back here, Baby Billy's already gone. Miles was so close. He had come all this way only to have her ripped away at the last second. While they try to lock down the city, they think that it might already be too late. And this is where we also get a little more from Hank. Even through the mask, he can see the utter defeat that is in Miles's face. And at this point, can you blame him? He has come so far for his sister, only for her to be out of reach again. He lets Janet take the lead like he always does. Sometimes, he hardly even recognizes her anymore, because over a year ago, they were exterminators in Jersey. Now they're shaking hands and exchanging strategies with kings and goddesses. And Hank thinks that maybe she'd be better off without me, because sometimes he thinks about leaving. He thinks about just disappearing without a warning in the night. But he's also not strong enough. The truth is, he could never leave her. He loves her far too much. He has loved her for as long as he can remember. Literally, her face is his first memory. When he woke up in the hospital, she was laying right next to him, lying in the hospital bed, tears down her face. That's his origin story. Life before that was rather vague. The man he was, the one he was supposed to be. They say that he was supposed to be some kind of genius, and at times he thinks that that's the guy she fell in love with. I'm the guy that she's stuck with. But she stayed anyway. She stayed through everything. Through his weakness, the fear, the lying, the denying. And so he'll stick by her side. He will do this through anything. But as they're trying to figure everything out, the agent that had taken the baby, as it makes its way through this corridors of Wakandan halls, the agent will never make it out of Wakanda. A sword driven through her chest, and then towering over her dead body, is Silver Samurai. He has slain this woman and taken the baby. The Emperor's lonely servant has taken possession of the anomaly for the glory of Emperor Sunfire. That is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's finally happening. Our stories are finally coming together. All of them looping in together. Now, you guys know that I stopped covering the X-Men titles some while back. The truth is, it just wasn't a comic for me. But if anybody is still reading them, let me know what's going on currently with the X-Men in the Ultimate Universe. Do you guys think I should be picking the X-Men title back up, the Ultimate X-Men? Should we be covering that again as we're leading directly into the Maker returning? Or have the stories not really amounted to anything? Because I really do want to see Emperor Sunfire. It just seems like Ultimate X-Men wasn't really headed in that direction. Super awesome to see Silver Samurai here though, coming as an envoy and ambassador of the nation for the Emperor. They obviously got word of what's going on. This baby is an anomaly. Everyone believes it's some kind of key. Many believe it's the key to opening up the Maker's dome, but I don't think that's the case. I think that's going to be a huge misconception in this situation. I think she's going to be the key to revealing the truth to the world, to showing the world how the Maker changed the world. But we also know that Miles has some kind of role to play in this. The Maker would have never come to him and invited him to return, invited him to come to this world that he's making that would resemble theirs. Only one that is more in the Maker's image, a more perfect world. But it does look like all of our stories are finally coming together. The Spider-Man Ultimate Incursion. This is connecting Spider-Man, Black Panther, and the Ultimates all together, with it getting closer and closer to the date that the Maker is supposed to be coming out. We're down to a handful of months left. Now is the time for unity. Now is the time to come together, to gather the full strength of every hero that remains. Because once the Maker comes out, it's gonna be all out war. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything going on in the Ultimate Universe, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that we have going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.